My name is Sugam. I am Assistant Professor of English at Khalsa College of Law, Amritsar. It's my privilege to be here in front of you through KCGC to present my lecture on the topic Diaspora Literature. First of all, I would like to explain what is diaspora. Diaspora is a term used for large-scale migration of people from country of their origin to other countries, either voluntarily or due to political or economic compulsions. Diaspora literature involves an idea of homeland, a place from where displacement occurs, and many narratives of harsh journeys undertaken on account of economic compulsions. It is historically said to begin with Jews, the dispersion of Jews outside of Israel from 6th century BC when they exiled to Babylonia until the present century. Then I would like to explain its types. Diaspora is of two types, forced diaspora and voluntary diaspora. Forced diaspora. It consisted of disprivileged and subaltern classes. It arises out of traumatic events such as wars, enslavement, or from natural disasters like famine, extended drought, etc. As a result, people of forced diaspora share feelings of oppression, loss, and desire to return to their homeland. But at that time, they can't get back to their homeland because of lack of means of transportation, economic deficiency, and vast distance. So, the physical distance became their psychological alienation. Second main important type is voluntary diaspora. As the name indicates, it means willingness. It is a community of those people who have left their homeland in search of new economic opportunities. It, it is the result of man's own choice and inclination towards material gain, professional and business interest. Now I would like to explain themes of diaspora. There are so many themes of diaspora such as isolation, alienation, racism, cultural identity, hybridity, etc. First of all, I'll explain alienation. Alienation is the main theme of diasporic literature. It means when an individual feels alienated because of new culture, tradition, environment, etc. And this alienation is not only from God or nature, but from society in foreign land. Next important theme is isolation. Isolation means when a person leaves his homeland and settled in foreign land. This isolation is basically uh, psychological as well as physical. Next important theme of diaspora is racism. Racism is very common theme during diasporic period. Racism is especially between blacks and Europeans. Blacks always are considered very low dignity, and Europeans always think that they are better, they are more educated, they are more civilized as compared to blacks. So, blacks used to do all kind of labor work. Many black writers also write about black people and their sufferings. Next main important theme is hybridity. Hybridity means mixing of two things, like mixing of culture, tradition, languages, etc. At that time, when Indians or Africans are forced to leave their homeland and settled at a new place, then their ideas, their languages, their cultures, traditions all mixed up. So they have experienced two different cultures. That is hybridity, means mixing of two things. Next important theme is cultural identity. Cultural identity means when an individual uh, shifts to another land, foreign land, then he finds so many difficulties. He finds difficult to make his own identity in a foreign land because he is completely new at that place. So, Stuart Hall, one of the most important diasporic writer, explains the theme of cultural identity in his famous essay, Cultural Identity and Diaspora, where he explains that identity is a production which is never complete and always in process. There are so many authors who have contributed a lot to the development of diasporic literature. Like, according to critics, I can say that according to critics, the position of diasporic writer is much, much better than native writer because he has experienced two different cultures. It is the first hand experience of them. So I want to explain one of the important writers of diasporic writers, that is Salman Rushdie, and he is renowned diasporic writer. He is a British Indian essayist and novelist. He is said to combine magical realism with historical fiction. His most controversial work is Satanic Verses. His many works connect with disruptions, connections, migrations between East and West. His other famous works like Ground Beneath Her Feet, Midnight's Children, Shame, Fury, etc. Second main important diasporic writer is Monica Ali. Monica Ali is quite famous diasporic writer, and her contribution in the field of diaspora uh, has acknowledged so much, and her important work in the history of diasporic is Brick Lane. That is considered the most influential work in diasporic literature. Third main important writer in field of diaspora is Amitav Ghosh. Amitav Ghosh always try to he is very keen in portraying diasporic life. He is very keen, and he viewed wars, politics, and worldly affairs from perspective of common people who has suffered under all these effects. Last important diasporic author is Jhumpa Lahiri, and she has contributed a lot in this field, and she portrays diasporic families. She portrays immigrant families through her first novel, Namesake, from perspective of a young boy. So, in short, I can say that diaspora is a minority community living in a exile. Diaspora, so students, this lecture is all about diasporic literature. Thanks a lot.